Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm just here to talk to you really quickly about the third due date, which we're calling fine-tuning our research prep in anticipation of our annotated bibliographies, which are coming up soon. So this homework has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 assignments, and I'm just going to walk you through them really briefly, because I know we're still all getting acclimated to the system and how this class works. So in the first homework, what I'm asking you to do is just kind of reflect on your personal connection to the issue that you're thinking about writing about, the complexity of the issue, and whether or not the issue has been considered from different disciplinary perspectives. You may not know that yet if you've only looked at the journals that are in your major, which was what you were asked to do in due date number 2. So if you don't know the answer to that, that's totally fine. You don't necessarily need to at this point. But you may want to ask yourself if the issue could benefit from considering different disciplinary perspectives. And so basically that's just kind of a short assignment for you. The second one is research questions and search terms. This is a really hard thing for writers to figure out. So if you are wrestling with this yourself or grappling with this, you are in good company, because every writer I know struggles to come up with a good research question and relevant search terms. So my advice to you with this one is just try something out. More than likely your research question will change as you dig into your sources a little bit more closely. And so, don't feel discouraged if your initial research question has to change, because it most likely will. Basically, this homework is just asking you to do a couple of readings from our textbook, section 9.3 and chapter 14, which is introducing, reviewing, and revising. And then I'm asking you to read these sections as well. So what I'm going to ask you to do is actually complete this learning activity, which is in 9B, which you'll find here, which is called Narrow Your Research Topic. Because what we're doing is basically taking a topic, like a very broad idea, and starting to think about what might be an interesting approach to this topic at large. So if the topic is the umbrella, we're going to be thinking about different ways that we can research smaller parts underneath that larger topic. And so once you have a question in mind, something that you want to find out, you'll generate some search terms, and basically there's a list here of criteria that I'd like for you to follow. So you want to circle or highlight the most important words in your research question, generate a list of alternate words or terms for each core term, relate the terms to create searchable phrases, and create a list of 3 to 4 possible search terms and phrases from that work. And so what you're going to do is post your research question in the search terms, and then I want you to reply to 2 of your classmates. I know you guys are starting to get to know each other a little bit better, and so don't be afraid to ask questions, pose interesting information, direct them to something else they may not have thought about. I know some of you are already doing that, and I've praised you for that in your feedback if you have been. And then you're going to respond to your own main post after your classmates have responded to you, and reflect on what you learned, and talk back to your classmates. One of the things I have noticed in the discussion forums is that sometimes your classmates are posting questions and then you're not answering them. So, it's always a good idea to make sure that you do that. And so basically that's homework number 2. Homework number 3 is reviewing the peer review discussion in Eli. I've already gone ahead and assigned you to a group, and what you're going to do is just play with the program using the responses that your classmates wrote about peer review, which I did post an announcement about earlier today. So when you click on the link, or when you go to the peer review section of Eli Review, your window should look like this. This is the student preview mode, and what you'll see here is what the review task is, and then who the writers are that I've grouped you with. And so you'll see the 2 or 3 people below based on, how the numbers kind of panned out for this assignment. So these are sample students, Catherine and Benjamin. So what I would do is click here or click here. Both will take you to your partners. And so you can click on your partner's work. And what you'll see is the text will go here. And then you're just going to practice answering some questions and explaining your ratings. And the box will kind of follow you as you scroll down. And then you're going to send your feedback to Catherine or whomever your partner is. And then you'll do that for the second person. And so really, like I said in my post earlier, take some time to really think critically about your partner's work. You'll probably be partnered with these folks again throughout the next 7 weeks. So it's always a good idea to start things off on a positive note. So once you do that, you will lastly start thinking about some of the databases in our library. And because the University of Arizona is a research library, we have subscriptions to thousands of journals that that come from an array of fields. And so what you're going to do for this homework is to play with these 4 different databases: Academic Search Complete, Nexus Lexis, or Nexus Uni, JSTOR, and the Web of Science. And these are all a little bit different, and they all have tutorials. And so when you pull up the first one, let's say Academic Search Complete, that's one I often use, you can go through the search here. This is what it actually looks like at the library. The tutorial's on the left-hand side. And this one walks us through someone who wants to research The Simpsons, and it'll take you through, starting with I like The Simpsons, what can I write about? And it'll walk you through and show you exactly how you can start thinking more deeply about a topic based on the idea of playing around in the database. So you'll just click this and then kind of walk through, you'll type things in here, play around with the search, and then it'll ask you some questions and kind of walk you through that process. So that's it, and then you're going to just submit that as an assignment. So 1 text with a summary from 3 of the 4 tutorials, so it means 3 texts total, and then the author, title, and permalink for all 3 sources, and so that I can click on them and look at them if I'm interested in learning more. So that's it for today, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or let me know.